Hi, I'm Vita, and that woman over there, the one arranging cupcakes like they've personally offended her, is my mother-in-law, Patricia. I handed a juice box to my daughter's friend while keeping an eye on Patricia. She looks intense, Megan, my best friend, whispered as she sidled up beside me. How's Hurricane Patricia behaving today? Passive-aggressive with a chance of backhanded compliments, I replied. She's been on edge since we announced the party would be here instead of her house. Remind me why you invited her? Daniel insisted. Family obligation and all that. Mommy. Emma bounced over, unicorn headband slightly askew. Is it time for the games yet? Lily and Zoe want to play musical chairs. Soon, sweetie. Are you having fun? It's the best party ever, Emma squealed before racing back to her friends. Megan smiled. She's so happy. Don't let Patricia ruin this. History suggests that's impossible. Last Christmas, she accidentally revealed Emma's Santa gifts before breakfast. And that time she reorganized your kitchen without asking? While commenting that my organizational system was quaint but inefficient, I added. Patricia sauntered over, her smile not reaching her eyes. Vita, dear, these decorations are interesting. Did Emma pick them out herself? They're very childish. They're unicorns, Patricia, for a 7-year-old's birthday. When Daniel was 7, I threw him a garden party with proper table settings. Children rise to expectations, you know. Daniel appeared, wrapping an arm around my shoulders. Mom, the decorations are perfect. Emma loves them. Of course she does, Patricia sniffed. You let that child get away with anything. Mom, Daniel warned, his voice low. I'm just saying what everyone thinks, Patricia insisted. Anyway, I brought a surprise for later, something to make this party memorable. Those words should have been my first warning. The party progressed until I noticed Patricia slip away toward our storage shed. Minutes later, Emma tugged at my sleeve. Mommy, look! Grandma's doing something with fire. I turned to see Patricia arranging what looked like makeshift torches around our yard. What are you doing? I hurried over, heart racing. Setting up a fire dancing display, Patricia explained, striking a match. I hired professionals, but they canceled last minute. I used to do this in college. It's perfectly safe. Patricia, stop. Don't be dramatic. I know what I'm doing. There are 15 children here. Put that down right now. You're embarrassing yourself, Patricia hissed, always so controlling. The wind picked up just as she lit the first torch. The flame caught the nearby decorations, and within seconds, fire raced across our bone-dry lawn toward the gift table. Fire! Someone screamed. Parents grabbed children while Daniel and Richard, my father-in-law, ran for the garden hose. Patricia stood frozen, match still in hand, as chaos erupted. Hours later, after the fire department left, I sat in my smoke-damaged kitchen with Megan. I can't believe it, I whispered. Emma's presence, the decorations, everything. At least no one was hurt, Megan said, squeezing my hand. Daniel entered, his face grim. Dad took Mom home. She's pretty shaken up. Shaken up? She destroyed our daughter's birthday party and nearly burned down our house. She feels terrible. She should. I pulled out my phone and showed them both the video Emma's friend's mother had sent me. Look at this. She knew exactly what she was doing. The video clearly showed Patricia positioning the torches directly under paper decorations, checking the wind direction, and deliberately setting things up for maximum damage. I don't understand, Daniel said, his voice breaking. Why would she? Because she couldn't stand that we didn't have the party at her house, Megan interrupted. She's always competing with Vita. This time, I said, my voice steady despite my racing heart. She's gone too far. What exactly did the fire inspector say? I asked Officer Martinez the next morning, clutching my coffee mug tightly. She flipped through her notes. The fire originated from improperly placed torches. Mr. Lopez from next door provided security footage showing Mrs. Henderson deliberately positioning them near flammable materials. That matches the video I was sent, I said, showing her my phone. How clearly does it show intent? Officer Martinez asked, studying the footage carefully. Look here, I pointed. She checks the wind direction, then places the torch directly beneath the paper banner. And here, Daniel added reluctantly. She's positioning this torch right by the gift table. Officer Martinez nodded grimly. This changes things from negligence to potentially reckless endangerment. We'll need formal statements from everyone present. What kind of charges could she face? I asked. Given that children were endangered, it's serious. The DA will make the final determination, but reckless endangerment is likely. After she left, Daniel paced our kitchen. I can't believe Mom would do this intentionally. There has to be an explanation. The explanation is that your mother couldn't stand not being in control, I replied. She's been undermining me for years, but this time she endangered our daughter and her friends. I should talk to her. No, I interrupted. I'm done with private conversations and sweeping things under the rug. I'm pressing charges. Daniel's face paled. Vida, she's my mother. And Emma is your daughter, whose birthday party was ruined and who could have been hurt. You don't understand what you're asking. It would destroy her reputation in the community. Her reputation? What about our daughter's safety? What about the thousands of dollars in damage? The doorbell rang. Richard stood there looking haggard. I came to help clean up, he said, avoiding my eyes. Did you know? I demanded. Did you know Patricia planned this? Of course not, Richard snapped. Patricia would never. We have video evidence, Daniel said quietly, showing his father the footage. Richard's face crumpled. She's been struggling since you announced you're moving across town. She feels like she's losing her family. But this, I never thought she'd go this far. We're moving 10 miles away, not to another country, I exclaimed. And that justifies endangering children? Of course not, but... No buts, I cut him off. I've tolerated her criticism for years because she's family, but this crossed every line. My phone rang. Megan. I've been asking around, she said without preamble. Turns out Patricia's done similar accidents before. Remember when your wedding venue suddenly had a plumbing emergency? Or when that preschool you loved for Emma mysteriously withdrew their acceptance? What are you saying? I'm saying I talked to 3 different people who confirmed Patricia was behind those coincidences. This pattern goes way back. Her former neighbor told me she sabotaged their home sale when they refused to sell to her friend. You're kidding. How did she manage all this without anyone knowing? She's smart and connected, plus people are afraid to cross her, until now. I hung up and faced Daniel and Richard. The insurance agent is coming this afternoon, and after that I'm meeting with a lawyer. A lawyer? Richard paled. Vida, please. This stops now, I said firmly. I'm making sure Patricia finally faces consequences, and neither of you is going to stop me. What will you do? Daniel asked finally. Whatever it takes to protect our family. Legally, I answered. And you need to decide whose side you're on. 3 days later, Patricia arrived at our partially restored home, summoned by my carefully worded text suggesting reconciliation. Daniel, Megan, and Richard were already seated in our living room. Vida, Patricia began immediately. I'm so relieved you called. This whole situation has been blown out of proportion. Has it? I remained standing. Please sit down. Patricia glanced around nervously before perching on our sofa. I've been beside myself with worry. It was an unfortunate accident. Stop lying, I interrupted calmly. We have video evidence showing exactly what you did. Video? What video? Patricia's voice rose an octave. I was simply trying to add excitement to an otherwise ordinary party. An ordinary party that wasn't at your house with decorations you didn't choose, Megan interjected. Stay out of this, Patricia snapped. This is family business. Megan is family, I countered. Unlike some people, she actually cares about Emma's happiness. I played the footage on our television. Patricia's deliberate actions were unmistakable. That doesn't prove anything, she insisted, but her voice wavered. The wind changed suddenly. Anyone could see I was being careful. The fire inspector and police disagree, I replied. As does our insurance company. Insurance? Patricia paled. You reported this to insurance? Of course we did. You burned down half our backyard. Patricia turned to Daniel. Surely you don't believe I deliberately harmed my own granddaughter's birthday? I saw the video, Mom, Daniel said quietly. And frankly, it's not the first time you've interfered in our lives. Interfered? I've only ever wanted what's best. Like when you sabotaged our wedding venue? I interjected. Or Emma's preschool acceptance? Patricia's face drained of color. Who told you that nonsense? Multiple people confirmed it, Megan said. You've left quite a trail, Patricia. You're just trying to turn my son against me, Patricia hissed. You've always been jealous of our relationship. This is absurd. Patricia turned to Richard. Are you going to let them attack me like this? Richard shook his head sadly. No more covering for you, Pat. This has to stop. I've spent years making excuses for your behavior, but this time you went too far. You too? Patricia's voice broke. After 40 years of marriage? I can't believe this. Patricia's voice turned venomous. After everything I've done for this family, Vida has turned you all against me. You did that yourself, Daniel replied. I made one mistake. It wasn't a mistake, I countered. It was deliberate, and it wasn't the first time. Fine. Patricia stood abruptly. I'm sorry your precious party was ruined. Is that what you want to hear? I'm sorry. Now can we please move past this ridiculous drama? Your apology means nothing, I said evenly. Because you're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught. How dare you? Patricia stepped toward me. You ungrateful little... Careful, Megan warned. You're already facing reckless endangerment charges. Don't add assault. Patricia froze, then laughed bitterly. Charges? You wouldn't dare. The paperwork's already filed, I said. The hearing is next week. You're making a terrible mistake, Patricia hissed, grabbing her purse. If you do this, you'll regret it. I promise you'll regret it. Is that a threat? Daniel stood. It's a promise, Patricia snarled, shoving past him toward the door. This family will fall apart without me. All rise, the bailiff announced as the judge entered the courtroom. I straightened my shoulders, feeling Daniel's supportive presence beside me. Across the aisle, Patricia sat with her attorney, her expression a mixture of indignation and disbelief. You didn't have to do this, Patricia whispered harshly as we waited for proceedings to begin. You've humiliated me in front of everyone we know. This isn't about humiliation, I replied quietly. It's about accountability. Some daughter-in-law you are, she muttered, after all I've done for you. Done to us, you mean, I corrected. The hearing proceeded efficiently. The judge reviewed the evidence, the video footage, the fire inspector's report, and testimonies from party attendees. Mrs. Henderson, the judge addressed Patricia directly, your actions endangered multiple children and could have resulted in serious injury or worse. Do you understand the gravity of what you've done? Your Honor, Patricia's attorney began, my client deeply regrets. I want to hear from Mrs. Henderson herself, the judge interrupted. Patricia stood, smoothing her expensive blazer. It was a terrible accident, Your Honor. I never intended. The evidence suggests otherwise, the judge cut in. This court takes the endangerment of children extremely seriously. I was trying to create a special moment for my granddaughter, Patricia insisted. Things simply got out of hand. Mrs. Henderson, the video clearly shows you checking wind direction and deliberately placing torches beneath flammable decorations, the judge replied sternly. This court cannot ignore such reckless behavior. The sentence came swiftly. Restitution payments, community service, and a restraining order keeping Patricia away from our home and Emma's school. Outside the courthouse, Patricia intercepted us on the steps. You've ruined everything, she said, her voice breaking. My reputation, my relationship with my granddaughter. You did that yourself, I replied calmly. Daniel, she pleaded. Surely you see this is excessive. Daniel shook his head. Mom, you endangered my daughter and refused to take responsibility. These are the consequences. I've apologized repeatedly, Patricia cried. What more do you want? We want you to understand what you did, I answered. But you're still making this about you. Give it time, Pat, Richard said gently. Maybe someday. There is no someday, I interrupted. The restraining order stays in place. Emma's safety comes first. You can't keep my son and granddaughter from me forever, Patricia said desperately. Actually, I can, I replied. And I will, until Emma is old enough to make her own decision. As Patricia's lawyer led her away, Megan approached with Emma, who had been waiting inside with a court advocate. Is it over? Emma asked quietly. I knelt beside her. Yes, sweetheart. Grandma Patricia won't be able to hurt us anymore. Will she ever say sorry for real? I don't know, I answered honestly. But we don't need her apology to move forward. I was scared when the fire happened, Emma admitted. Grandma looked so angry. You're safe now, Daniel assured her, joining our huddle. And we're going to have the best do-over party ever. That evening, as we celebrated Emma's do-over birthday with close friends, Daniel pulled me aside. You know what impresses me most? He said. You got justice without compromising your principles. You did everything legally and properly. I wanted to show Emma that you don't fight fire with fire, I replied. You fight it with truth and determination. Across the room, Emma laughed with her friends, the trauma of the original party fading with new memories. How are you feeling about all this? Megan asked, joining us with cake slices. Relieved, I admitted, and sad that it came to this. Do you think my mother will ever understand what she did? Daniel asked. Honestly, no, but understanding isn't required for consequences. 2 new beginnings without toxic people, Megan toasted. And to standing our ground, Daniel added. I smiled, watching my daughter blow out candles on a new cake. What do you think, readers? Would you have handled it differently? Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about getting free.